Get a challenge going. Be very specific who you ask, what you're asking for, and when you would like to have it by. People are willing to help. It's just that they don't exactly know when, how, and what. Just ask them, and they have the opportunity for that blessing. When you don't ask them, then both of you have lost the blessing.
Okay, I will also share something that I have recently found out that I have been doing. A good friend of mine, she always likes to tell me the things I'm doing wrong. I love her. She's kind of one of the matriarchs in our church. She catches me on Sunday morning when I'm going 59 different directions, and she says, well, how are shoeboxes going? Oh, it's going good, it's going good. And on I go. She catches me again. How's shoeboxes going? She's trying to engage me in conversation, and she wants to know more about it. And once again, oh, it's going good. Here I go, I'm trying to get kids down to the children's wing. I have my special needs Sunday school class waiting on me to teach it. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So my friend who likes to keep me on my toes calls me. Hey, Tanya, did you know that Linda has been trying to talk to you about shoeboxes and you keep blowing her off? I'm like, really? I don't remember that. Well, she keeps asking you how it's going and you keep telling her it's going fine. She wants to help you. I'm like, okay. So now we need to, and I know it's not always convenient, but at least acknowledge that I hear you, but you know what? I can't even find my head with both hands at the moment. So how about if I call you this week? We can talk about it. She has great influence on many women in our church. She is part of our women's ministry, and she is well loved by all. And I have blown her off multiple times. So we need to be aware. Be aware when people are asking us about it, they're wanting to know about it. Maybe they just don't know exactly how to ask us. And Michelle and I, we were talking, a couple of weeks ago about just, things at church because, I'm still kind of the project leader. I'm not kind of. I am still the project leader at my church. I'm praying for who is supposed to be doing it, but they haven't come forward yet. And I realize that we don't ask specifically for volunteers to help. It's not just items, it's about other people. And we were talking about National Collection Week. It is a time when we are supposed to engage the community to be a part of National Collection Week when the shoe boxes are coming in. For some reason, we kind of feel like, oh, you know what, First Christian Church Edmond, their people do it. That's their drop-off location. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Oh, First Baptist Church El Reno, that's their drop-off location. They've got it. It's not supposed to be that way. We are supposed to be calling Trinity Baptist in El Reno, hey, can you guys come work a couple of hours, on this day? Calling First Christian Church, calling Faith Bible, all the churches in our community. Community groups can come help. The football team could sure come and move some cartons of boxes, right? I'm just saying, we have to think, we like to say, outside the shoebox and engage people who are not currently involved with us. The same way with our churches. We need to do that. I think, did you say you were from Mino? And I don't know, I've been through there. Yes, I have driven through there. But it's in your church, you pack shoe boxes and stuff, but there's other people probably be coming alongside you and helping you. Don't be afraid to ask them. Overall, we do not ask well. And I hear that not just from me and not just from Michelle, not just from Janice, who I think she probably does better than I do. We just don't do that well. And I think there's a lot of people out there that would love to be a part of what God is doing. They just don't know how to get involved. So, does anybody have anything else they want to share at this part about motivating your church?
Just to tag onto what Tanya just said, I was looking around, I thought he might be here today, but he's not. So we have been praying for a Spanish-speaking church team member for a long time. And, Tanya did say to me a couple times, if you know of anybody that speaks Spanish, yada, yada, yada.
Since last summer.
Yes, last summer. So I did. I was praying about it. But it was just but that's really all I was doing. I wasn't really actively thinking. I was thinking, we've moved to Edmond recently. I don't really know, all these people. And then one day I just thought, well, the Lord really prompted me. You just need to really sit and think about, is there anybody, even if you don't know them well, or whatever, that might speak Spanish that you wouldn't normally think to ask? And he brought two people to my mind. Well, one is the husband of someone in my community group at church. And, I don't know why. He didn't seem like somebody that would be involved in Operation Christmas Child to me. It just didn't really, even though I was pretty sure he spoke Spanish, it was just kind of in the back of my mind. And there was another lady I actually ended up asking, and there's still a chance she may be involved in some capacity. But the Lord just really prompted me, no, you need to ask Will if he would be interested. Well, I thought he was going to be here today. He is now on the church team, and he is specifically going to focus on Spanish-speaking churches. So that's my encouragement, is to pray. But to pray and then think, don't just pray and expect the Lord. I mean, he drops people in our lap all the time, but then don't be afraid to ask somebody that doesn't seem like a likely candidate if they seem to fit. And now that I know he's going to do it, I think he's going to be amazing, and I'm sad he's not here, but anyway, so.
Yeah. And he is, Crystal was like, I'm not really sure if he's interested, blah, blah, blah. I have spoken to him several times on the phone, was part of the interview process, and he is so excited. Who would have thought? Anyway, it's just amazing. We have been praying for 3 different team members kind of in a very specific way last summer. And God really laid it on our hearts that we needed them, but he didn't give them to us last year. So it was kind of sad in a way. It's come on, I know you want us to. But you know what I figured out? He didn't give them to us because we weren't ready for them yet as a team. We were still running around like chickens with our heads cut off. And not that we don't a little bit anyway, still. But it's a little bit, God answers our prayers. And we have to, we need to be sharing that more, that he does answer our prayers. Okay. Well, I need some eyes.
Yes,
Yes?
Everybody, okay.
They will in a second.
Okay, the church in Mulhall, Orlando, and you may not even have ever heard of Mulhall, Orlando, because it's sort of this little tack-on town, 2 towns that I think have 10 maybe graduates a year together, over by Stillwater. But their church, this is what she does. She has a bulletin board, and on it she puts sticky notes of what they need. And you take a sticky note, you get the item, and then she has a bucket for you to put it in the next Sunday. And so that is her way of communicating to people what they need. And that little bitty church, I can't remember, it was 175. I think it's crazy the number that they had for the itty bitty church. I think she said they had 15 or 20 people. So I was amazed. So that was all my.
The studies of shoeboxes collected show that the smallest churches pack the most shoeboxes. So that's a good thing. Okay, Denise. As part of the motivation for your churches, there's different ways to get it in front of your church. And Denise is very talented. And she actually was, I don't know, would you like the production manager of a play. The drama director of a play. And actually, it was funny because I live in El Reno. We don't really know that we know one person in common. But she didn't tell me. Somebody that I'm on Facebook friends with had posted about this wonderful play that they had seen, and it was the one that Denise had done. So anyway, she wrote a skit that a lot of people, believe it or not, do skits in front of their church to promote Operation Christmas Child. We need somebody like Denise in my church. And am I supposed to do part of this? I'm the volunteer.
Well, are you going to do the volunteer?
You gonna do it?
She says,
Woohoo!
yes.
God is good.
And I have to tell you, this is completely corny, but I got voted at our homeschool co-op as the, thank you, because my arms are really short. I feel like T-Rex here. But that the most likely to communicate in song, so this one is like that. So anyway.
I would like to introduce you to my friend, Enid, and lead you through the journey she's going to take this year.
And I am really excited about my trip. Nice, very nice. Abunda wonderful. Okay, now I'm looking good, but maybe they need something to help them stay healthy, like toothbrushes, soap, anything over there like that? That would be great. Soap, toothbrushes, that's great, great. And maybe, some school stuff? Oh, that looks good. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Let's see. I fill my cup, let it overflow. Fill my cup, let it overflow. Fill my cup, let it overflow. Let it overflow with love. I'm still feeling not so full. So maybe a few filler items. Bouncy balls, Matchbox cars, it doesn't matter. Anything you have over there. Nope, nothing? Oh. You brought nothing? Okay, that's all right. But those would work. Okay, so as soon as we get those in there, then we would say freely, freely. You have received, freely, freely give.
Well, Shoebox, you look pretty full. I think it's time to stick a label on you. The collection day is the 3rd week of November. So I'm going to make sure to take you to the nearest local location spot.
Where do you find that?
On the internet.
All right.
But I can't let you go without praying for you and for the child who will receive you one day.
Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will follow. And it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. I told you it was funny. Okay. So, let's go ahead and go to our shoebox place then. I feel like I am all ready. I've got my label. I've got my stuff. So here we go. Wow, there's lots of shoebox buddies here. Look at that. We're all here from all over the place. Gosh, I think there's even some from the town next door. And people pack us and they take us here. And we have a long way yet to go though, because from here, we're going to all get to travel together to a shipping center. We have a long way to go. Is it still on? Oh, look. They're praying over us too. We'll need it because this is a long journey.
Take the name of Jesus with you as a shield from every snare.
Ready to go? So, oh, here we go. It's a long, long road with many a winding turn. Finally, we're at the shipping center. We shoeboxes get a workout here. We get unpacked and inspected by thousands of volunteers from all over the United States. Hey, that tickles. And they pack us safely into cartons for our trip across the ocean, our international adventure. She's going to wrap some tape around me to make sure I don't pop open, because I'm so full. All right. Hopefully I'm not full. Okay.
Before we leave, we will pray over you again, and for the child who will meet you at the end of your journey. This is my prayer, lifted to you, knowing you care even more than I do.
Oh, I have a flight to catch. Can you grab that? Because I cannot. Okay. Shh. There we go. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away.
Oh, shoebox, I have been praying for you and anticipating your arrival. In more than 100 countries, volunteers, national leadership terms train pastors and community leaders like me who want to share the good news of the gospel and bless children. We learn how to host children-friendly outreach events. Everyone ought to know, everybody ought to know. Everybody ought to know who Jesus is.
But when do I get to meet my special child?
Well, little shoebox, look around. Here are all these childs who have come to our outreach program. All of our training has been for this moment where the gospel is clearly presented and the shoeboxes are distributed to needy children all along with the booklet in their language about the gospel called The Greatest Gift.
Christmas isn't Christmas till it happens in your heart. Somewhere deep inside you, that's where Christmas needs to start. So give your heart to Jesus. You'll discover when you do that it's Christmas, really Christmas for you.
I love my gifts. I want to learn more about Jesus. I am taking the 12-week discipleship class. I will get a Bible so I can share with my family and friends. Come on, shoebox. I can't wait for you to meet them.
I love to tell the story. It will be my theme and glory to tell the old story of Jesus and his love.
I can already think of a mom and 2 daughters who would be perfect to do this at our church. I mean, wow. There's also a couple of other skits on the Project Leader Resources page. Maybe your church would allow you to do it, 3 weeks in a row or every other week or something. Maybe get a group and do it for the women's missionary union, what do you guys call them, CFUs? Oh, your pastor said it. It must be the Christian Women's Fellowship or something. Yeah, yeah, there's all kinds of groups that you could do something like this for, so. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's about just getting out there and having fun. Yes, yeah.
Contribute?
Yeah, I'd love for you to.
No, I'm
Can you-
loud enough, I don't need the microphone.
Well, I feel the same way.
You don't have the talent that you just described. And so we utilize the videos that are online.
Yes.
And I'd like to show one of them, about 3 minutes if we have a second.
You bet.
It is just a promotional video from Samaritan's Purse that talks about the life of a shoebox,
Go for it.
the journey.
Go for it.
Night lifts softly, the world lies sleeping, and heaven bends to earth below. Christmas morning, children waking to hear the sacred story told. Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Ring the bells, Emmanuel. Ring the bells,
Nothing motivates me more than watching those little kids open that shoebox. And showing that to my congregation has been the biggest motivation to getting them to make shoeboxes. And these videos, there's hundreds of them on YouTube or on the Samaritan's Purse website that you very easily can show in church. That's my contribution.
And you are exactly right. Samaritan's Purse does produce many very high-quality videos for us to use that way. You know, a combination, some churches do that, and that definitely is sufficient. If you want to get actual people in your congregation, you get their kids involved, and, that kind of speaks to their heart too, and they'll pay a little bit more attention to it. Let's see. All right, shoebox on a shoestring, and Deb Roberts is the one who named this one. It says, shoebox on a shoestring, I can't believe I packed the whole thing. So I thought that was kind of clever. Janice, I think you were going to share a few things about packing a shoebox on a shoestring.
I am going to tell about things about packing shoeboxes. I do want to give Barbara West a chance to speak. She's coming up.
Yeah, she's coming up.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you what I do whenever I pack shoeboxes. I like to sew, I like to do artwork, and I like to craft. And one of the things I do is kind of put them all together when I pack shoeboxes. One of the things I love to do is find bargains someplace and gather them in. You can ask my husband, he just shakes his head. Sometimes our budget gets a little bit overwhelmed, and you're thinking, okay, there's got to be another way to do this where I can bless a child with the things that I want to put in that shoeboxes that are special that I have made. There's a list of things, and Elise, there's a list over here of papers in my chair. If you give everybody a list of papers there that says DIY, yeah, that top one. Okay? These are the things that you can do, and they're just things that I've gathered from different places. Official Operation Christmas Child Project Leader Workshop, Stash Busters. If you don't have a Stash Busters app on your phone, you need to get one, because they are great. Things that you can make. Skirts. I go to estate sales, and if you get a little old lady who likes to quilt, and she has passed on, and her children are going, what are we going to do with all this fabric? I love estate sales like that, because you can get all kinds of fabric. As a matter of fact, that's where this fabric came from. A little rickrack on the bottom. These take maybe 20 minutes to make. You can make them in any size. Get a little t-shirt to go with that. Bam, you got an outfit. Sometimes I make pillowcase dresses. This is one I experimented with. Usually I make peasant dresses. And this one I thought, well, I'm going to try to make straps on this one instead of the little sleeves and the elastic around the top of it. And so I experimented with this one, and I just played with it. I always put pockets on because every girl needs a pocket. Vacation Bible School stuff. How many of you have leftover Vacation Bible School crafts? They're great to go in shoeboxes. In fact, I have a whole crate of leftover Vacation Bible School stuff that Lifeway granted us. I want you all to help me empty it. So before you leave, grab a bunch of stuff you can put in shoeboxes. Crowns. Every little girl loves a crown. Makes her feel like a princess. I got this sparkly stuff at Hobby Lobby when it was on sale. And I just made a little crown, put a piece of elastic on the end of it. It works great. I never could find little baby dolls that would fit in shoe boxes, and so I decided, well, I'm going to make some. So what I did was I got a piece of paper that was approximately the same length as a shoebox, and I started drawing a pattern. And I messed with it until I got one. And Mom, my 92-year-old mother, said, I'll be glad to put dresses on those for you. And I'm going, okay. So she put the hair on with some yarn, and she dressed it. And it's just a very simple little 2 arms, 2 legs, torso, and a head. This one I did a little bit differently in that I didn't stuff it so full. and I put threads around the arms, the hands, and the feet, and the legs bend, so that the legs bend. And she dressed it and put the hair on. So dolls are good. A toolbox is really, really good for the older boys. And this is a way you can get the men's groups involved. If you've got a man in a classroom and you say, okay, I want you guys to make a toolbox for the boys. And things like pliers and screwdrivers. And at the bottom of this box, there's a collection of screws and nails and something else, whatever else they would need. Also, fishing kits. My husband is an expert at making fishing kits. And he's got the line on the outside of this, because on the inside is the bobber and the hook and the string for the fish. On the outside is the string for the fishing rod. And they can use the bottle as the pole. Yeah, flip the string out. Okay? I'm just giving you ideas here that you can do real quick. 2 pieces of felt sewed together with a little bit of Velcro on it. My granddaughter helped me pick out the bee and the button on the front of it. Makes a really great pencil box, or maybe a personal box for a little girl or a young girl. This is a washcloth, and you all know how to make these because you made them I don't know how many years ago in your little Sunday school class. And it's just a washcloth that's folded, okay, triangle, and the 2 corners are you fold it over, and the 2 corners are the ears, and you just put a little ball on it, so that not only do they have a little toy, but they also have a washcloth. This is a zipper bag I made out of a dentist's old jeans, and I had some zippers. Again, I got the zippers at an estate sale. Some time ago, also, we had a clothing store, not a clothing store, but a cloth store that went out of business, and they were selling zippers like a penny each. I didn't know what I was going to do with them. The Lord knew what I was going to do with them, but I didn't. And so this makes a great little pencil box, and all it is a rectangle that's sewed together, and the zipper is put in it. And if you don't know how to make these, I'll be glad to visit with you. They're easy. You can make them in about 10 minutes. Drawstring bags are great for Legos. You just make a little casing there for the tie string on the end. I made this out of the sleeve of a t-shirt that I used for a t-shirt jump rope that Amy's going to tell me about. None of that t-shirt goes to waste. Made this little necklace out of a washer. One of those metal washers that your husband has laying around you don't know what to do with, and neither does he. We painted it with fingernail polish. It dries pretty quick, and you can decorate it, put a ribbon on it, and you've got a nice little necklace for a girl or a guy. Again, this is a zipper bag, real easy to make. This is a puzzle that I took a Christmas card. I put tongue depressors together on a cabinet, and I used rubber cement, and I glued the card to the tongue depressors. And after it all dried, I took an X-Acto knife between the tongue depressors, and now I've got an easy puzzle for a little kid to put together. And that's what that is. I'm just putting these up here. Don't hesitate taking them out of the bag and looking at them and playing with them. Same thing, little bag with a tic-tac-toe in it, and you can put buttons in it. You can put little glass beads in it. I put pieces of paper in it that were different colors. checkers, you've lost part of them. That's a great idea, okay? Here's the same thing. Do you know all those labels that you get in the mail and they've got pictures on them, but you have no idea what you're going to do with them because you've got 400 million of them? I took the pictures off of them. Easter seals used to send out deals that have pictures on them. I cut these. I don't know if you can see them, but come up and look at them. I got a piece of cardstock, okay? Cut it into squares and put the pictures on there, and I put 2 of each one. So now you've got a matching game that they can play, which is really great for visual memory. Being a teacher, I think about things like that. Little pieces of cardstock. Oh, that probably won't work well with the game then. Okay, I'm just going to put it up here and let you all play with it. Scratch art is really kind of fun. Again, I got this at a garage sale. There was a little bag of scratch art things that kids can do and use creativity. Elise did this one for me. It started out black, and now it's a pretty butterfly. When Elise does gymnastics, and there was a little girl, 10-year-old girl, in gymnastics, and I was showing her what I was doing with a puppet I was making, and she got excited about sewing things together. So her grandmother went to Walmart and got those 4 million washcloths in a bag for $3.97, okay? Do you understand what I'm talking about? And she made this little pocket, which is really great to put soap in so that the recipient has a washcloth and a soap holder at the same time. We're talking about children who typically bathe in the river or in a pond and don't have running water like we do. So they need someplace to put soap. That's why it's important for you to pack a soap box with your soap. And by the way, I've been reading a lot on websites. Ivory soap is really great soap because if they're in the river and they drop the soap floats. But if you put a washcloth around ivory soap that you've taken out of the wrapper and stuck in a plastic bag, it's really bad about molding. So don't do that. Okay? Leave the ivory soap out of the paper for like 3 months so it gets really, really hard. And then stick it in a soap box, okay, separate from the washcloth. If you crochet, oh my goodness, yes ma'am. Oh, let the soap dry out. Because it lasts like 3 times longer if you let it dry out. And it doesn't matter what kind of soap it is, but especially ivory. I love ivory soap because it's a mild soap. It doesn't have that strong smell that some cultures feel like it stinks, but ivory doesn't. Ivory's good. Anyway, if you crochet, here's a little crocheted flower, and it's something to put in their hair. You can make doll clothes out of crochet. You can make hats out of crochet, or if you knit, you can make dolls out of crochet. Yeah, the whole thing. Shower ring and ribbons. And I just put a couple of bells on mine. I have so much ribbon, I guess I'm a hoarder. Do you get the idea that maybe I hoard things? When I get things from estate sales, I just scarf it right up because I know that the Lord's going to tell me how to use this. So, and Elise has been having a lot of fun with this, and she says, Grandma, will you make me one? So that's really neat. You can use any kind of ribbon. And it's just a ring from a shower curtain. And you're wondering why I've got this risque Barbie here. This is a repurposed doll. And I wanted to tell you about the bra. The area for the bra, it's a balloon. Yeah, you're laughing at me. It's a balloon, because I don't like to send naked Barbie dolls, okay? Now, if you ever priced Barbie doll clothes, you know that they're kind of expensive, but you can stretch a balloon across the top of a Barbie doll and a little, another part of the balloon. I haven't quite mastered the panties part. The skirt part can also be, yeah, you can. Use fingernail polish to paint it on, and it'll stay. A dress. I don't know where my mom got these. Oops. Now I told you, Elise is back there laughing because she knows there is a way to make panties out of balloons. And I tried it, and it didn't work for me. So I don't know if I put them on upside down or what the deal was. But anyway, you can make panties out of balloons. And this looks like the cozies that you put on cups or around your wrist. Exactly, for sweatbands that she's cut up, and you can make into Barbie clothes. I get all kinds of Barbies at garage sales and things that I fix up. This is one I haven't fixed up yet, but I wanted to bring her to show you what you could do. This, again, is just one of those washcloths that the little 10-year-old girl made at the gymnastics class, and she was going to use it for pencil case. Okay? Drawstring bags for boys. And whenever you send your things in your shoe boxes, be sure to include some kind of a bag. They can carry this stuff from the shoe box, because some of these kids walk for miles to get these shoe boxes, and if they have to balance a shoe box, it's very difficult. But if they have a bag, and it can be we get Aldi's plastic bags, and I think they're 10 cents each or something, that are pretty sturdy, and that they don't take that very much room, and they can carry everything from their shoebox easily home.
Our thrift shop actually gets too many of those green backpacks,
Uh-huh.
and they started giving them to the library because they don't know what to do with them all. And that's what I told them, you can.
You'll take all their string backpacks. String backpacks are great, and you can make string backpacks out of upholstery material, of which I have some I'm really willing to share. This little puppet was made by the girl in the gymnastics class, too. Boy, I got her started, and she was ready to go. This was a puppet, and all this is 2 pieces of felt that I put together, and I glued eyes on, and I picked out another piece of felt for the tummy and a piece of black for the mouth. I'm going to go, I did Wonder Under to hold it on. I just ironed it with Wonder Under. And then I used, I was going to tell you this too. This Eileen's jewelry glue that glues everything and it stays is the best glue that I have found to put on fabric so stuff stays on. This is another one that's really good, this tacky glue, and it's all Arlene's, and you can get it at Walmart. Okay, that brings me to the jump ropes, which are wonderful. And I learned something today, well, not today, but lately, is that all the leftovers that you've got from your jump ropes, you have these little pieces that are left over. You can put them together and make little koozie balls out of them that the little kids can throw. And you put a string or a zip tie really, really tight around the loops, and then you cut the loops apart, and you've got these koozie balls that are really, really cool. The papers that I passed around are just some of the ideas. I've got a whole bunch of things here that I have stolen pretty much from Pinterest and shoebox stashers that's got all kinds of ideas. and even directions for t-shirt dresses, and pin cushions, all kinds of things. The guys might like to include in their shoe boxes some rope and directions on how to tie knots, which might be very interesting for the older boys or older girls, Heritage Girls. Heritage Girls is kind of the what Girl Scouts used to be, except it's from a Christian point of view. Now, what do they call the boys? Trail guides. So if you hear Heritage Girls or Trail Guides, you want to contact them, because those are the Christian Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Okay. Amy, do you want to tell about how to make the jump ropes? Because that's a big thing. Those jump ropes are so fun. Or do you want to have Barbara tell? Okay. Now let's let Barbara go. There she goes. This is Barbara West from First Baptist Church here in Enid, who has graciously allowed us to find out about shoes that grow.
Okay, I talk with my hands, so this thing may go flying.
I feel your pain.
In fact, my husband said, I don't need a mic. But I became involved with shoe boxes probably in the 90s when my boys were in high school by then. And I bought boxes for the three boys to pack. And my two younger ones said, well, what about Jeremy's box? We had triplets, and the oldest died 2 days before his first birthday. And the boys always want him included. So that's how I got started with packing the shoe boxes. 44 years and it's still hard. Last year in October, one of the secretaries at the church said, we don't have a leader to do these shoe boxes anymore because she's gone and done something else. Would you be interested in doing it? We know you like to travel and you'd be good at it. I thought, well, what does traveling have to do with packing shoe boxes? But anyway, I can't say no. So I did. And I have a helper, partner in crime. She's traveling. She's actually from El Reno. Yeah. She and her husband both, Tommy and Ann Hurd. She was a Gamble. I don't know how long you've been there, but they've been there for years, or from there for years. But anyway, she helps me with this. We have the church each month. We request a certain item for everybody to bring, and we've got a box that's been decorated up, and they come and bring that item, and we're real fortunate that they're very generous. Not nearly as generous. I feel really inferior. But they're real good about getting what we need. One thing I had to remind them about last year was we had all these pencils, colored pencils, lead pencils, no pencil sharpeners. So this year we're getting the pencil sharpeners in with the pencils. We went and bought every one of them up at the Dollar Tree, let me tell you. But anyway, I'm also on the committee for our Kinder Connection, which is our preschool program at the church. And in one of our meetings at the end, Marcia just said, hey, I want to show you these shoes. Pulled them out. I can pass these around if you want. And I was just enthralled with them because, you know, we get the underwear and the socks, and I'm thinking, those little socks aren't going to last walking on dirt. And so when I saw these shoes, it's like, we got to do this. We got to have these shoes. They grow 5 sizes by adjusting the little loops. this is the older model, I believe. I've got the newest model here. And then you can see it just on the sides and the heels. And I'm thinking, wow, the founder of this company, which is in Nampa, Idaho, was doing missions in Nairobi. And he was walking along with this little girl and looked down, and her shoes had the ends of them, and her toes were sticking out, dragging the ground.
Like my shoes.
Not that stylish. And he thought, why isn't there a shoe that grows? He said that just came to him, shoe that grows. And so he came back home, and I think he said it took 6 years to develop these shoes. But as you can see, they're extremely well made. They're not going to fall apart. The children will be able to pass them on to their younger siblings. They're $20 a pair, and they have a breakdown on their website of what all that money goes to. Only like $2 per shoe goes to pay for staff, which I think is amazing. They cost $12 and something to make them, physically make them. But anyway, I just thought, what a great project. And so I took, she was hoping that our Bible school would use it as their mission project, which they did. And those little kids, we only had like 70 or 80 in Bible school, but those little stinks raised over $400 in that week from their little mission money. I was just amazed. But anyway, I went before the church and I said, okay, we're going to plan on packing at least 150 boxes. My goal is to put a pair of shoes in every box we send out. So I need money, a lot of money. And so I said, the goal this year is $3,000. I'm almost right at halfway there. And I'm going to order them as I get the money in, because I'm afraid if I wait till September, October, there won't be shoes. But because this is really catching on, a lot of the churches are doing them now. People don't realize how much germs goes through the bottom of your feet. Your feet are the open door to your entire body. And all the nasty, and it's bad enough here. And in those third world countries, you can just imagine the bacteria and the stuff that those kids are serping up into their systems. So I've had a really good conversation with people in church about these shoes. They said best idea they'd ever heard, and they're being very generous with their donations. What I've done, I'm taking envelopes with the shoe information on the outside, and there's one in each one of our department boxes, because you know how we Baptists like to pass the plate. So I'm passing it every Sunday, just a kind of a reminder. Well, you know, a lot of people may not have their billfold. It's going to be there next Sunday. You bring your billfold. You'll they don't have an excuse to not be able to find it sometime. So I'm doing it through September because I figured that would give me time to get all the money in. But I'm going to start it in January and hit the ground running for next year. I think they're wonderful, and they come in tan, but I'm getting the pink and blue ones. So I'm going to get the pink ones for the little girls and the blues for the boys, and I'm putting them in every box.
So do they come with some directions that you can put in the box where they can figure out how to expand it, or is it pretty self-explanatory?
It's just pretty self-explanatory, yeah. An adult. I wear a size 8. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I know you say they can grow like 5 sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you order them like in small, medium, large?
Yes.
Then they grow?
Yes. And they tell you, I was so surprised that I needed to do this and unprepared, I'm sorry. But on the website it'll tell you which sizes are in each category. And so probably for our shoe boxes, the small and mediums are going to be plenty big, pretty big, enough spread. the large might be a little too big for the age groups.
So the large is kind of like adults?
Yeah, can be. In fact, they've got a program where you can buy them, and they've got a special week or month that you actually wear the shoes around and to show people. But I didn't get a pair in time to do that. And Marcia just happened to buy these and had them sent to her, and I've just been borrowing hers for right now. But yeah, I was like, man, I think I might need a pair of those too.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Well, we live in the country, and so when I go outside to the garden or something like that, I don't want to wear, just anything out there, so. Uh-huh. Yeah. But we've seen videos of them where they've taken tire tread and fashioned shoes out of those, and you think, oh my goodness. But they're not going to wear out for them, but these look so much better. And $20. $20 for a shoe that will last a lifetime. So.
What's the name of the company again?
It's called Because International is the actual name of the company. The shoes are called The Shoe That Grows. But Because International is the actual company. And that because comes from when he was trying to figure out all this, he was trying to think of a name, and he was journaling, and because kept coming up in his journal.
At Hibden
And
Tires
it's like,
Plus.
oh, okay. Yeah, there's videos and things that you can find and show the church or whatever too. So anyway, that's, any other questions?
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing it. Thank you so much. That was really interesting. I don't know what's next either. It might be me.
Okay.
Oh, no,
blah, blah,
it's Amy with the
blah.
shoe. Or no, crafts
Yeah,
is later.
it's jump rope time. Ready for jump ropes? This table, is that what we're thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm listing how Xandra, this is Xandra.
Hold the mic.
What I do with the volume I do without her, so.
How much is you want the whole table?
Probably just more than fine. Yeah, because, she'll actually, I have a whole bunch here that we already have cut up. We did, one of the ladies at our church actually came up with the idea. We actually don't have that much help at the church, honestly. I hate to say it, but we don't. But one of the ladies at the church, this last November came and said, why don't we do once a month OCC day and have an OCC work day that, since there's taking toys out of packages or making school supply bags or hygiene, what we started making hygiene kits to keep it all together at the packing party. So she suggested we do, and she said instead of all of the work falling on us, that we open it up and put it out on Facebook, say, hey, we're going to be at the church this day if anyone wants to come help. And thank you for sharing that, by the way. So one day we said we were going to make jump ropes, and it was actually the largest turnout we have ever had for an OCC work day was making jump ropes, because even the guys came in on that, and they were like, hey, this is fun, and the kids love it.
Just say my son learned how to braid that day.
He did. All right, so she's going to show you first how to cut it. Yes, thank you. That's very important. We make sure that the shirts that you use don't have the side seam. Mine doesn't, yours doesn't. I didn't even notice before that some t-shirts have the side seam on the side. You don't want to use one of those because you're not going to get it to stretch, right? So what are you doing?
I'm folding the shirt. It's easier if you fold it.
Should we come stand?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, if you want to, it might, can you guys see? Okay, yeah. And then I don't need this, right?
Where do you get your t-shirts?
We have a clothing closet at our church that when she gets older T-shirts, she'll donate them because you can pick them up at garage sales. A lot of people have ones that have like stains or something on them, so they'll be like, oh, you know, you can have it for 10 cents or whatever. Yeah, this one.
one's brand new. Cousin bought me some shirts.
Sometimes you can find them for like $1 on clearance or something, so we just use those because it's easier to find the brighter colors that way than the ones that get donated, because the ones that get donated are usually like black and brown and gray, and that's dull, and white. So then we cut off after we fold it, we cut off the end of it. Easier said than done. I guess I don't need this, do I? You guys?
I hate it when they show those videos. They look at it. And making these t-shirts does make a mess.
Yeah.
That is a
It
messy
does.
job.
So that's
It
why
does.
we're actually not
It
gonna
really
like
doesn't
cut
make
it
a
all up,
mess.
it's just to show how to do it. Depending on the size of the shirt you get, depends on the loop that it will make. We cut them about 1.5 inches, right? Isn't that what we had decided?
Yeah.
About 1.5 inches across. The larger the shirt, the bigger the loop you get. The bigger the loop you get, the less loops you need to make a jumper up. So anyway, after you cut it, you can see you'll have a loop like this, and then you stretch it. You want to stretch it?
Go, girl.
But it's already stretched. No, it'll still stretch. Here, yeah, here's that one. Don't make a mess. You stretch them, it'll still stretch. And when you stretch it, stretch some, move it, stretch some, move it. And you notice it gets bigger.
And it's like it turns into almost a yarn.
You can almost like stand on it even if
Yeah,
they're little kids.
Yeah.
We have some ladies that do that. And then.
How do you know when you've stretched it enough?
It'll break.
Well, thank you.
Isn't that too much?
So like I said, it depends on the size of the shirt. If you can find ones or ones get donated that are, 3X, 4X, 5X shirts, you'll get, that's what you get, the bigger loops like this. If like adult small or something, they don't get as big.
Or the kids, they don't, not really.
Yeah, or kids. So say you take 3 colors that you want, and you put a loop in the end. Does everybody see that right? And then usually we do it with folding chairs because where it meets in the end, you can put the loop on that.
Or a doorknob.
To braid.
Yeah.
Or a doorknob. So,
Or a grandkid,
or a grandkid.
or a
Well,
kid.
like the little kids, I mean, that could be something that
Oh,
could
yeah,
be their
for
part.
sure.
Yeah.
And then you just braid it.
How long is that gonna be?
Braid it. And then when you get to the end, and you want to keep going, you take another loop
Like you do with rubber bands.
and loop it onto the end, and you keep
going.
Depends on how
Keep
big the
going.
t-shirt is
Yeah.
and how many pieces it'll take, but usually it'll take
That's a
3.
whole lot if you need it.
Oh,
So-
goodness.
Now, there's some t-shirts that stretch more than
So
others
this,
do.
doing it
You
this
know,
way
like
makes
them
it a lot
neons, now they
easier.
stretch.
There's a lot of
Yes.
videos
Them
and stuff
cottons
where
like
they show
this
that they
one
make like
don't
one
stretch.
continuous long
Yeah, that's what
loop
we
in
did.
it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot harder that way than it is this way. The
Yeah.
booger is the knot, but if you turn it just right, I mean, it can.
It braids in.
Braid it in and you don't see it. So what we do is like when we do it get everyone together, so if you notice, we cut stuff like ahead of time and have it in bags and put it up so that they can pick their colors or whatever. And then we just measure out roughly 7 foot on the table and then tell them, make it this long, so they'll come up and measure and see if it's that long.
So the jump rope itself, fully
Yes.
braided, needs to be 7 foot.
That's what we've been doing.
Wait, any kid can use it, any age.
Well, because like my husband said, it's easier to
Right.
shorter than it is to make it longer, so it'll last them longer. And then when you get your length on the end, you just tie another knot on that end, and then you take your scissors and cut this and just spray it out to make the ends. And you have a jump rope.
Cute, cute,
Then
cute.
you fold it, and then you can take your seam and make a strap to tie it.
We started doing that, or ones that sometimes they break.
Yeah.
Like when you stretch them, sometimes they break. So we say, save them, don't do anything with them, because we'll cut them and then make them to where when you fold them up to take up less room, then we'll take that and tie it around. And then that gives them another thing they can tie in their hair or whatever, just another piece of string that they can use for God knows their reason that they use it. So.
And that's one thing I forgot to say about the shoes. Those shoes compact and rubber band together to where they don't take a whole lot of room in the boxes. I forgot to say.
One thing about you, never throw nothing away.
No,
Not even a piece of T-shirt.
No, these,
Yes,
with
my
these,
husband-
when we cut them, we
it's
even,
a hoard everything.
just like Janice was saying, we cut the sleeves off, and then the sleeves can be sewed to make,
This sleeve can make 2 bags.
the sleeves can be
So you
sewn
can
to
cut it
make
in the middle and make 2 bags.
Mhm.
And then the seam here, you just put a little hole in it, and that's when you can
Yes.
weave
the
it.
bottom
Yeah.
that you cut
Then you
off,
don't have
Yeah.
to sew.
you can actually put this through to make the tie for it so that it uses the whole thing, or the top of the shirt.
It would also make a top for a child.
Yeah.
A
So,
little-
but we
like
just
your
go
little
up
t-shirt.
to where the arm sleeve is. So it just uses pretty much the bottom half of the shirt really up to here. Because if you try to go up past that, it's too hard to try to get it.
That's when you use it for doll blankets, baby doll clothes, Barbie clothes.
Or like you said, the smaller pieces you can stretch and put a
Make a squishy
zip
ball.
tie and it makes a push ball that you throw.
Or the girls took pieces of that fabric that's together without the seams, and you get, those infinity scarf.
Oh, yeah.
It is an
That's
infinity
cool.
scarf.
That's a
It's
cool
like-
idea.
That's true. Didn't even think about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
My,
sure.
my daughters used to do that.
So yeah, so we just, we get T-shirts, like we look if they go on sale at the clearance for $1, because that's where we try to get the brighter colors that's not quite as dull, so that way we can mix in the brighter colors with the dull, because like I said, this is all the stuff I brought from.
And it doesn't make
From ours,
any difference if there's something on the shirt.
No,
Yeah.
no.
If there's writing
That
or
just adds
anything.
more
Yeah.
color, really.
Just like this one, you can see this had a deal on the front of it. So we try not to use these as much, because if you notice when you
depends on-
stretch
They
it,
don't
it
stretch
doesn't
that
stretch
much.
the same.
Yeah.
So, but it still can be used, it just is a little more difficult, because you have to actually take the time to keep it folded in, so that when you braid it, it braids in. So it can still be used, it just is a little more
Well,
work
if it was
to
in
be
the middle, it
used.
wouldn't even matter if it was a
Yeah,
little thicker.
no, not at all, not at all. But like I said, a lot of people have T-shirts that get stained or something. I know I have a whole bunch. My husband works in the oil field, so he goes through a lot of shirts.
Or even small holes. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, even the small hole, because when you cut it, when you stretch it, if it has the little stain or the hole that's on the inside of it, you're not going to see any of it anyway, and you're going to braid it together, which is going to make it stronger. So it's usable. So
That's cool.
it's
Neat
not
idea.
used, it's repurposed.
Yay! That's a lot easier than when I was trying to do it, yeah. Oh, my
Well,
gracious.
you don't, let's find me a doorknob.
Why we meet together.
That's what they said,
Yeah.
that way it's easier, because you don't have to worry about it getting all tangled up. And one of the other ladies at our church, Candace, her husband, took some of the bags home with him, and he said that he would knock a couple out while he was watching TV. So he said he was just sitting
Or,
there
you know,
anyway.
even your ladies, your elderly ladies, if they're homebound or something, in the
That's something
nursing
they
Now,
can
home.
some of it, we did notice, some of the older ladies had problem with, like
Pulling it tight,
stretching.
yeah.
The stretching part of it,
Right.
it hurt their hands, so we would have the kids
Right,
usually stretch them.
exactly.
I love stretch. They're awesome. She's also a tester.
Yep.
Make a jump rope, and she'll go, I'll test it, and so she'll take it over.
There you go,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
That's also another girl.
Yeah,
Colby.
You and another girl.
Yeah.
from the church
Me
do
and
that,
Colby
so-
are like fighting over the jump rope. No, I'll test.
It's my turn, it's my turn. So usually
Yep.
we look for them wherever we can get the t-shirts at the, like I said, the crisis closet at our church, when they get donations in, she'll pick through, and if it's some of the not as nice clothes, she'll pull them to the side for us to cut up for jump ropes. And then we set a day, and then they come up, and anybody that has a board, we say, hey, bring your board and cutter. And
Yeah, these are awesome.
we'll cut as many as we
Better than a pair of
can.
scissors.
Some of the guys liked doing that more
Yeah.
than doing their,
Oh,
hey,
sure,
I'll
sure.
cut it. So,
Yeah, they were
sure.
cutting as the women were braiding.
yeah, so it made it easier to
I guess you
get
could
through
just do
more.
ruler,
But,
but that'd be a
It is,
whole lot easier.
Yeah, this,
so even though you can find jump ropes that are, can go on sale and be, pretty inexpensive, this takes something that would have got thrown out and makes it usable so that you can use that money for other things.
On the Sunday paper at Hobby Lobby, every once in a while, they will have these half price or 50% off. That's a good time to buy those.
Yeah.
And I use sometimes Hobby Lobby when they have their shirts on sale, because their t-shirts aren't very high. Use them for the tops for the skirts. So you can do all kinds of things with that.
So if you can take one and get that many uses out of it, then even if you pay $1 on clearance, you can get that much more use out of it. It makes it a justifiable purchase.
Cool.
A tie-dye t-shirt sure would make a pretty one, wouldn't it?
Oh, wouldn't it?
We have actually used tie-dye shirts to do it, and they are fun. Yeah, they are fun.
I'll bet they turn
It'd
out
be fun
fine.
to have the kids
I used to
spray, if
tie-dye.
you get just plain white.
Yeah.
and
It did.
have them
I thought
spray
it
them.
was
Did too.
fun.
Loved it.
Girlfriend, I did back in the hippie days.
That's like that, but
or white ones with
Yeah.
bleach.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens naturally.
that's a good idea.
So, like,
You
how
have
many,
ideas.
how many jump ropes did you say you can make out of, like, say, a 3X t-shirt? Theoretically, what, 14?
Well, it takes if you want to do the different colors, it takes 3 shirts to braid 3 different colors. Of course, you don't have to. You can use just one if you want to. So it really depends how far you can stretch it. But I would say 3 usually.
Yeah, one shirt can make at least 3 jump ropes.
Oh, 3 jump ropes out of 1 shirt, not 3 shirts.
Right, but if you want to, yeah, so I guess theoretically, if you have 3 shirts,
You
you can
make
make
9.
3 colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to
colors, yeah.
tri-color.
But
Yeah.
like I
Plus
said,
a bunch of koozie balls.
It depends on
Don't
how much
throw
it
nothing away.
stretches.
Yeah, it depends on the size. It totally depends on the size of the
The
t-shirt.
bigger, like, you could get 2 shirts that were both like a 2X, but one material stretches a little
Yeah.
longer than the other. So if the loop is bigger, you'll get more, because you won't have to use as many to get your length. Right. So,
Cotton t-shirts don't stretch that much, do they?
they do, this
This
one,
one
that-
is,
Is it 100%
Cotton t-shirt.
cotton?
no, 50% cotton.
Yeah, yeah.
some of them we have gotten pretty good, but
But the bigger your t-shirt, the better off you are.
yes, yes.
Yeah, that,
Because the small ones won't make as big of loops.
That's the
which
kind
some
of-
by the time you get started, you have to splice it,
Yeah.
unless you just want different colors.
So like this one, obviously, this one wasn't quite like the 3X one, because the
Yeah.
3X, it'll stretch
Right.
pretty far. So this one was probably like an extra large, I would think.
My problem is find somewhere to hold it on to.
Yeah.
You know, maybe my foot, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I've actually stepped on them. I've actually stepped on them as I was braiding.
Yeah, we have a couple of the people at church that's how they
Yeah.
stretch them.
He's going to show the video on the shoes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Am I in the
Amy
way?
and
Thank you.
Sandra.
You're welcome.
Sandra.
Am I in the way?
That was the older version, so the newer version has the hook and loop and it's a little sturdier, and that's maybe why they've gone up to $20.
We actually have like 6 minutes, so we are going to be very good stewards of our time. Let's see, one thing, when people hear that they have, cost $9 shipping, I mean, people automatically, $9, are you serious? But I have seen other people go out and compare how much it costs to actually mail a box from Oreo to Enid, from, the Oreo to Thailand or wherever. And it is a lot of money as you go to ship anything. It's going to $36, $46, $88. I've got a friend whose son is serving in Japan as a missionary, and she sends him his birthday gift every year, and her shipping usually runs $120. And the box, it's not heavy, it's just a kind of stop. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to let Crystal talk about the $9 shipping, just so we can communicate well what the $9 is actually for.
Thank you for that nice intro. I thought you were just going to carry it away, Tanya. Well, Dawn, could you cue up that video that is called Fueling the Journey? Okay, can you go ahead and play it?
So, you've packed your shoebox full of love and prayer. Now to just get it to the other side of the world. Across the deep blue, around the mountain, and over the squeaky bridge. But how? Well, you could walk. That would take a very long time. You could fly, drive, and ride a llama to the village. But that would add up. You could ship it. But this would also cost a pretty penny. Actually, it would cost as much as 7,000 pennies. Or you could just include $9 in the box when you deliver it to Operation Christmas Child and let us drive it, ship it, fly it to where children will know the love of Jesus through it. But it doesn't stop there. Your $9 donation also provides the greatest gift booklet so children can take home and read the story of Jesus in their own language. And the ministry partner guide, which is used to equip local churches to share the good news of Jesus in a child-friendly way. And all just for $9.
All right. Yeah, if you just leave that up, that's perfect. So Tanya hit so well that really when you're shipping in these big, huge containers on ships, Samaritan's Purse does have its own airplane, but some goes by plane, but almost everything goes by container on these cargo ships. It just makes such a huge difference in the shipping cost. Because the $9 is also helping cover some of the collection cost, even here on this end. The processing center cost, like I don't know if any of you have ever worked at the Dallas Processing Center. I know they try to get donated warehouses and that kind of thing, but there's still cost associated with that. So your $9 donation fee helps with that. And then when it actually gets to the country, you know, we've talked a lot about that ministry guide and the training that the local believers go through. I've had a chance to kind of look a little bit at some of what that training is that they get, and it's very detailed. It's even helping them understand, like there's even a chart, like how do you seat the children in a distribution event, you know, an outreach event when they do the shoe boxes, helps them figure out what is our target audience. The national team is strategizing how to reach every child in that country with the gospel. So there's really a lot that comes out of that $9 that you're sending. The training is amazing. That ministry guide that they get is very helpful. And then obviously we've talked about the impact for the gospel that the greatest gift has, and that is covered with your $9 collection fee. I do want to say what the $9 does not cover. It does not cover the cost of the Greatest Journey discipleship program. So I want to be clear on that there's no confusion. That is a separate donation fee of $6. And if you have done it yourself, or if you want to encourage people at your church or wherever, I guess y'all, this is church. So for your teams that you're doing the track your box, where you can track your box label online. I know online with that, you have the option, they ask you if you would like to donate $6 to cover the cost of one child to go through the Greatest Journey. And that would cover the training and, materials specifically for the discipleship program, as well as the books, the New Testament they get, when they finish the Greatest Journey. So that's an excellent way to spend your missions money if that's where the Lord leads you. But specifically for just starting the process, getting a box to a child, it's $9, and that will cover, on our end here in the United States, collection, the processing cost, shipping to the country, in-country training the local believers with how to do the distribution event, the outreach event where they distribute the shoe boxes, and then the greatest gift in the kids' language. And that would also cover the cost for like the posters, the visual aids that they use at the distribution events. Did I cover it all, Tanya? Okay, all right.
One thing I do want to add, you can go online and you don't feel like, and this is a good thing to tell the people in your church. If they don't want to go out and shop for Operation Christmas Child box, you can go online to Samaritan's Purse, Operation Christmas Child, and you can buy your stuff online and make your box online. And I think that's $25 if I'm not mistaken. There has been some confusion about the follow your box thing, and I'm running into this. Somebody will come to me at the drop site, or they'll call me later on and say, I can't follow my box. And I say, well, did you buy a follow your box label? And they're going, I don't know. You can go online and you can get this label to put on your shoe boxes for the same $9 that goes into your shoe box. You just buy your box online instead of this label. Okay? So you're using the follow your box label, which you print out on your printer through your computer, and then you'll know where your box went. Our boxes at Bethlehem Baptist Church last year went to Haiti and Mexico. So most of our boxes go south, not all of them. Some of them go to Africa. So they can go anywhere. But if you want to know where your box goes to, then you can do the label thing. Did I follow?
Will you go like forward just a little bit further?
I'm sorry, I
Go forward. Keep advancing.
back on the presentation.
Yes. Yes.
Will you tell people to put their name and picture of themselves in their box?
Yes, I will. Yes. Okay, this is the Follow Your Box label screen on the Samaritan's Purse Operation Christmas Child website. You see where you can put in how many you want, you print them off, and you tape them on the top of your box where it says put the label here. Don't put it across the middle because we have to try to tear them off and move them. And then when it's time to follow your box, you go on to the kind of the next screen, and it's Discover Your Shoebox Gifts Destination. It's called your Follow Your Shoebox tool, I believe. And you put in either the email address that you used when you purchased it, or if you have the little tracking number, you can put that in, and then you hit submit where it says that. And last year, our church boxes went to Mexico. It tells you they were shipped on December 11th. They also went to Haiti, Honduras, and Ecuador. Okay? So if people want to know, some people want to know that, but they do have to go that little extra step of paying for their label online and putting it on their shoebox. There's a free mobile app. If you don't have it, but you would like to, come see one of us after this, and we will try to help you get it added to your smartphone. Okay. Dawn wanted to, and this is really important. In our shoe boxes, I know a lot of times we're a little bit apprehensive about putting names, addresses, email addresses, things like that in the boxes. A lot of people want to hear back from people. But even if you don't care about that part, these shoebox recipients, one thing they love is they talk to our people who go on the distribution trips. They love the photos of the people who pack them and a note. That makes it real to them. Just as we watch these videos, they become real to us. When they see our pictures, it makes us real to them. You know, this person loves me enough. This person loves Jesus enough to do this. You know, I'm praying for you. Jesus loves you, and so do I. All kinds of little things. Doesn't have to be long, but the photo, you know, just, it can be a group photo of their whole group that packed. It can be, some people put, I mean, seriously, do like a family photo with a lot of what happened to my life this year kind of information. Yes? And there's a kind of a color sheet. You know, my name is, I am this many years old. You color in the state on the United States map. And then there's some other little information that you can fill in and put that in there too. It's better than obviously nothing, but photos are really nice. Yes?
Twice where somebody's written back to the person and put their address in the box.
Really?
And we
Yeah.
got responses from these kids.
Right, a lot of people are starting to get responses if they provide their information. We as a church have not done that yet. Did they receive it back through snail mail, email? Snail mail. Yeah, Amy got an email. So, yeah.
We, in addition to our packing party, we do our own personal boxes. And for our personal boxes, we put a family picture in there with our email address and our address. But I got an email from a mom in Mexico whose daughter had received our box, and it was a picture of her holding up our family picture in the picture. So I printed it out and brought it up to the church. But along that line, though, it was bothering me because when we do the packing party, we always put a table out there to encourage people to write to their kids, but we kept noticing that it was the least used area at the packing party. So we even ended up, well, this last year was better. We moved it to the middle of the packing party, so it was more predominant. But then it was bothering me that there's not that personal connection. So I've been saving and just bought one of those instant cameras, the little one. It prints out a little itty bitty picture in it. That we said we were going to try to use at our packing party this year to encourage them to put a letter in. We'll tell them, we'll take a picture of you holding your box if you'll put a letter in the box telling them that it's from you, just to try to help encourage people to put that in the box. It's just an idea.
That's really.
You're saying somebody with a black and white printer?
You could take pictures and print off and have somebody print, like even a group picture, like 100 group pictures or something. You know, or yeah, so. Right.
We kind of combine with the pre-printed thing, except for we've devised our own, and we write a letter so that it gives where we come from in Oklahoma and our church and all that basic information. But then we take a picture of the Sunday school class one Sunday morning in the summer, and then we can print those out, and they can say who the kid is in the picture. And so they are getting a picture then, and we attach it to that letter then. And so it makes it a little easier. We try and do the letters in the summertime when Sunday school classes are a little disrupted anyway. We're a small church. Some Sundays we only have 3 kids in Sunday school or something. It's a good time to do something like that. So.
And it's fun. Yes.
It's fun. Yes. Stephanie Seymour out of North Carolina, really loves church, packs a lot of shoe boxes, but she also personally packs shoe boxes, and she does kind of the pre-printed thing too. She has her family picture with all of them, and then has her stuff under it, and she prints it in color, and they put them in all their personal boxes, and she receives quite a few responses back. And for those of you who are on Facebook, but you have not used any of our Facebook, you know, you're not on Shoebox Shoppers, which is Stephanie Seymour, you're not on the official Project Leader Workshop, you're not on our area team's Facebook page, see us after this. We'll try to help you find them all. We are going to print them all, but due to printer difficulties, we were not able to print them. So everybody who's here, I will snail mail it to you, or I can email it to you so that you will have it. Grow your shoe boxes. We all know the why. We know God knows how many we are supposed to pack, so let's just not try to limit God. Let's just pack very quality shoe boxes. And when you have junk on the table, you're done. That's kind of my rule. we need you to consider, pray about, and I know we always, I'll pray about it. Well, we said, pray about being part of the area team. We need you. When Crystal came on board, she had just moved here not too long ago from Tulsa. She knew a lot of people in Tulsa. She said to me, I don't know anybody here. And I was like, yeah, that's okay. I mean, what an answer, right? I could have done way better than that. Later, what I realized I should have said, well, maybe you don't, but God does. God knows who he's going to put in your path. We each have our own little networks. I'm amazed at the people that Crystal has met over the past year and a half. She'll call, you will not believe who I met. And I think it's phenomenal. We are very few in number. You don't have to get up and speak in front of people if that's not your forte. It takes all of us to do something different. And God knows who needs to be on the team. Sometimes our lives get very busy. And we kind of have to step back and look at it. But the truth is, we cannot reach Northwest Oklahoma without team members. And we all know that God can do anything he wants to do without us. He allows us to be a part of his work. I think we would all agree that if we look, that we do see God at work here. And we need to be joining him instead of looking at what we're going to do for him. It's all about joining him where he's at work. So with that being said, we would love to talk to you about being on our area team as a year-round volunteer. Year-round volunteer does not mean 52 weeks a year, 40 hours a week. It can, but it doesn't have to, okay? We are volunteers. I get that. I still work full-time, so I get the volunteer thing. Prayer Network partner. There's little sign-up sheets back here. God calls us to be a people of prayer. The most important thing that we put in that shoebox is prayer. We need you, we want you to be a part of our prayer network team. You get an email twice a month from Jean Ingram. She's our prayer mobilization coordinator. She will send you the monthly update as to how you can pray for our region, how you can pray for our area team. It's also included a monthly update of domestic and international prayer. These international prayer requests actually come from the national team themselves. It's not something that I make up that we can pray for them, or that international headquarters in Boone makes up that we can pray for them. This is people sending in prayer requests. We need prayer in these areas. That's what you would get once a month. Every quarter you get a little magazine, little brochure thing. It's called Prayer Point. And it gives you how to pray. So you don't have to really think about it. Our prayers don't have to be repetitious. We get all caught up sometimes. I just don't know what to pray. Well, it tells you every day. It's a new topic. You can share that with your prayer group at church. Your family, you and your husband, you and your grandkids, just whatever it might be. Being a part of the prayer network I can't tell you how important it is. We covet your prayers. I mean, it's rough. I mean, the spiritual warfare is real. Our team is being hit hard. And, Jean Ingram is on her knees for our team every single day because she knows how real it is. And we love her, and we are so thankful that God sent her to us. And we would love to talk to you guys about being part of our team. And I guess your spiritual warfare will increase too. I don't know if that's a good thing. Maybe I shouldn't say that part. But anyway, Janice, you want to dismiss us in prayer? Anybody have anything else they want to say?
I have a few things I want to say. There's things out here that we're going to pass out to you. We need shoeboxes. We've got shoeboxes and
Yes.
the older ones. If you want some, take some.
Yes.
Also, I have a handout why churches should partner with OCC. One of our other team members found this, got this together. If you don't know how to talk to your pastor about Operation Christmas Child, this is the handout that you need to get. Also, we need to give the drawing for the Door prize. Did everybody fill out one of those forms?
One thing I will say, we found that the discipleship program thing worked way better than the one that we had at our church. You can actually order those for your church if you have kids that, you know, like if they want to be baptized and you want to disciple them. It's amazing. So.
Cool. And yeah, you can order it for. Okay, I'm going to leave these up here if anybody wants to talk about how to do any of the crafts. Get it done. Yeah? All right, did you mix them up? You can't do the one on top or the bottom.
I didn't. I did. I could fold them up and toss them up. They were this big. Okay. All right. Close your eyes, Barbara. Just pick one. I mixed it up the best I could.
Amy.
Yeah. What?
Amy, okay, there's the, incidentally, MD Supplies is a great place to get your things. This is a sample bag of all the things that you can buy from MD Supplies for great discounts. Like I said, Amazon, eBay, garage sales, estate sales, everything. Shoe boxes over here, if you want to go through it, is for an older child. Is there anything I forgot? Yes. But we're going to go on because our time is up. I have enjoyed this thoroughly. It has been a blessing. Thank you so much for coming. Next workshop is in Yukon on August the 17th. You are all welcome to come. Bring a friend. Bring your pastor. Send a friend. The third workshop, we're only doing 3 this year, is going to be in September, and it is at Longdale. Not very far. Yeah, ask Denise if you don't know where Longdale is. Okay, let's close in prayer. Father God Almighty, thank you for your blessings. Thank you, Father, for encouragement, for information, Father, that we can use to share to your glory your story and your love around the world, that we might change some child's, some families, some countries' eternal address. Thank you, Lord, for these workers. Give them safe journey home, and bless us all, dear Lord, according to your will. In Jesus' holy name, amen.